Guys, and today we'll be talking about who will Milwaukee Bucks be drafting in this year's NBA draft. And the Bucks could use some more floor spacing and shot creation depth, as well as a defender similar to what they had in PJ Tucker 2 years ago, because we knew that was something they were missing. So let's get right into today's video. I would like to hear, before we start today's video, in the comments section, who do you guys think the Milwaukee Bucks should draft? Why should they draft him? How will he help them? And do you guys agree with my opinions? Like and subscribe for over 170 videos a month on every facet of the NBA. I post 6 times a day. So look, Terquavian Smith is my first guy I want to talk about. The other guys I have listed on here, Marjon Beauchamp, and as well as Kennedy Chandler. So let's get right into it. Terquavian Smith is a huge riser. This guy is being heralded as this year's Bones Highland. All right, and I like that. I like the idea of this guy being this year's Bone Highland in terms of how he's risen up the pre-draft process, and he had a terrific terrific season with the NC State Wolfpack as a freshman. 18.5 points in the ACC play, shooting 40.1% on a ridiculous 9 attempts per game. This man has awesome shot making, shot creation ability off the bounce, and has this real twitch and suddenness to his game with off the bounce and off the dribble, really. And yes, he doesn't finish drives well, and it's because this man is skinny as all hell. But once he starts to put weight on, we saw DeJounte Murray develop once he started to put some weight and got some age. But look, similar to Joshua Primo and Trey Mann, last year's first rounders, they became first rounders because they're elite 3-point marksmen who create their own looks off the bounce and off the dribble and have enough youth to grow into the rest of their game and bodies. And yes, I know the less said about his defense is better. But this is a guy who could help the Bucks with floor spacing and shot creation, as shown as they needed in the playoffs. Now, Kennedy Chandler won MVP of the SEC tournament, and over his final 15 games, this man's also 6 foot. For his final 15 games, he averaged 15 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 steals while shooting 50% from the field, 46% from 3. I don't completely trust his jumper, but I've seen enough that there's a chance he can fix it and gain enough improvement to look like what he did to finish the last portion of the year. And his defensive aggression gives him a shot at being a plus defender despite being small. Along the similar vein of Eric Bledsoe, he's a 6-foot point guard. And that's hard in the NBA. And it's exceptionally hard for smaller guards to thrive. The NBA players hunt mismatches and just to shoot over the top of smaller opponents. Chandler is good enough. But Sharif Cooper, a smaller guard, plummeted out of the first round last year because of his size, despite a monster freshman season in the SEC. So I think Kennedy Chandler is the least likely. But first off, Kennedy Chandler is a way better defender than my man was last year, Sharif Cooper. Sharif Cooper couldn't play defense, and Sharif Cooper's shot was way more questionable. There's way more question marks around way less question marks around Kennedy Chandler than there were around Sharif Cooper. Sharif Cooper was defense and shooting. It was a culmination of things besides his height. Kennedy Chandler looks like he could be an Eric Bledsoe, a little smaller. Or similar height. I think Eric Bledsoe might be 6'3". Now, Marjon Beauchamp, 6'6" with a 7-foot wingspan, 21. He could plug and play and be a day one guy from day one. And the thing is the perseverance and the story of going from community college to G League and night contract, showing scouts his willingness to do everything, even the small things that don't show up on the stat sheet. He defends well on ball with real switchability and versatility with a 7-foot wingspan. He can guard 1 through 4. Okay, he's aggressive at crashing the glass, and he's a great cutter and slasher similar to Mikal Bridges. He's the kind of guy who does all the dirty work, and he's a wing. And this is what teams need. He'll do whatever the team needs of him, similar to PJ Tucker. And obviously the biggest question mark is shooting. And yes, I'm a bit skeptical on that, but that's why he's the end of the first round kind of guy. But if the shooting comes around, he's a valuable, solid rotational role player for years to come. So, Marjon Beauchamp and Terquavian Smith are the two guys that I think they'll really be deciding between. But if they're both somehow off the board by the time they get to the clocks, the Bucks, don't be surprised if they take a guy like Kennedy Chandler. He wouldn't be a bad fit. But that's everything today from me, guys. I hope you guys do have a great day, because I know I will. Till next time, guys. Peace out. I don't know why I said this. Either way, before we start, like and subscribe. But I have a NBA daily talk show. And if you guys are interested in that kind of thing, you guys should check it out. It's in the link. in the description. Daily talk show. We're trying to get it on the radio. Well, I'm trying to get it on the radio. I want it on the radio. I want a radio show. Suck my nuts.